Okay, in this video, we're going to be creating this scene in 3ds Max using Corona Renderer. Alright. So first thing I'm going to do is check my units to make sure that everything is in order, to make sure that everything is millimeter. They are millimeter, so let's import. Go to where my file is located and I'm going to import it. Okay. Say okay. Say okay again. And then the file has been imported. So I'll just select these two things and I'm going to delete them. I'll select this camera and delete it too. Okay, now it's time for us to create our camera. But first of all, let me set up my layout. I like to work with two layouts, one for working, the other one for camera settings. So I'll just remove the grids. Okay, first of all, let me set the renderer. Then let me put my camera now. Align it to make sure that it is straight. I like working with straight cameras. Okay. Now I'm just going to set this camera till I feel it's okay. Like I'm going to work on this camera till I get what I want. But then you realize as we go on in this video that I don't just set camera and leave it. If I see any need to readjust the camera or the light, when I set the light, I will keep doing that till I get it right. Okay, it is not just that I'm going to set it at first and then I'll leave it. It's done. So I'll just set it. Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and be doing other things. If there is need for me to touch it, I will touch it. Okay, so I'm setting the camera and the camera target, adjusting the vertical tilt, all those things. Just follow what I'm doing closely. You're going to understand. Okay. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to turn this off. I don't like that denoiser when I'm doing interactive render. So I'm going to turn it off. And then I'm going to set my environment light. Okay. And then I'm going to lock that view so that when I render, it is always going to be rendering from that viewport. Now you can see the material we have here are REVIT material. So I want us to go and create. Let me go and create my default clay material so we can start work from there. I'm going to make that 90. I'm going to make that 1.6 and I'm going to make this one 120. Then hit OK. I'm going to select everything, Control A, and then apply it to everything. Okay, so as you can see, we have applied our clay material. All right. Let me go ahead and set my aspect ratio. I want to use HDTV for this render. That's 16:9 aspect ratio. Let me touch the camera a little bit, because now that I've changed the aspect ratio, I might have to work on the camera a little bit to fit it in very well into the aspect ratio. Now I want to create the material for the road. I'm going to select the road and I'm going to apply it on the road. Okay, this is just a shader for placeholder. Still have to bring a map to color it appropriately when the time comes. Now I want to add the sun. Okay, I'm going to turn it to direct. That's the coloring, because I want to be able to move it around without the interference of the color. I want to get the type of shadow angles that I want. Okay, I'm going to reduce the intensity. I want to get the shadow angles that I want without the colors changing up on me. Okay. So this is me looking for the angle, the shadow for the sun, angle shadow for the sun. I want something interesting. Okay. Let's try, for now, we are still going to bring in HDRI, but for now, let's just, get some colors going on in this scene so that I will understand how this sun is going to interact with such, kind of blue sky. All right. I'm still going to go and get HDRI that we're going to be using for this scene. I'm going to put links in the description for you just in case you want to see where you can download HDRI for free. Okay, you can get free, very high quality, and high resolution HDRI from Poly Heavens. Okay, they have a bunch of overcast, daylight, sunlight, midnight, night, evening, all those, any kind of time of day lighting condition you want is available in that place. So I'm just going to put the link in the description so that you can, get to it easily. Okay. So I'm going to turn on my bloom and glare so that light will be having light effects in this scene. Okay. It's time for me to put some trees in this scene to, start setting up my composition. Okay. To compose this image in a way that is going to be interesting. So first of all, I'll put trees at the background. Okay, then I'll put the one that is going to be casting shadows for me in the foreground. Okay, but for the ones in the background, we're going to be using forest park. All right, so I'm just going to duplicate this one. We'll duplicate it all over the place. Make copies of it. Okay, copy not instance so that I can easily scale one and not scale the other one, so that we can have that variety, the variety that makes nature very, very beautiful. See how it's looking. Okay, just move it around a little bit, to get the best position for it. All right. Yeah, so let me bring in the HDRI now. Okay, I'm going to use, that's it over there. So I'm going to select it. It's going to take a while to load, depending on the resolution of the HDRI that you're using. And then I'm going to say open. I'm going to hit OK. Okay, now before we start using, there's something I want to do with this HDRI. I'll first of all bring it into this material editor, then apply Corona color correction on it, and then I'm going to take that color correction, I'm going to place it there, and then I say OK to instance. So when I edit this, it edits it. So let's save our work first, and then if you haven't saved, go ahead and save your work. Now you can see nothing is showing. That is because this direct visibility override is on. So when you turn it off, it's going to show the HDRI. Now let's make this HDRI bright. Okay. I need to turn off this sun first so that I can adjust this HDRI properly without any interference. Okay. Things are getting overexposed. Let me rotate this a little bit to see if I'm going to get a better part of this HDRI, a more interesting part of the HDRI. You know what? Let me just quickly use the highlight compression to compress this. And let's continue. Now we are talking. Well, let me add LUT to make things a bit warmer. Yes. Well, okay. hold on first. All right. Let me take the camera back a little bit and see. Well, yeah. I think I'm going to leave the HDRI like this. Let me balance the camera out properly. Hold on. Remove this. Now let's do that again. Bring out my image comp helper. Where is it? Okay. Then I'm going to use it to balance this camera a little bit to make it, more balanced. You get. So I'm going to balance the camera. I'm going to remove that. To ensure that my camera height is still appropriate, I'm going to select it and cross-check. Let me set the target properly too. That's very good. That's very good. All right, turn off that target so that I can easily move it around without distorting the camera. Like I said, I want this thing to be straight, straight perspective view. Like, can call it 1 point perspective. Okay, I want it straight. Now it's already looking good, Let me save. It's already looking good. Now let's get to work. Stop this. Desaturate this HDRI a little bit. It was looking a bit bluish, a lot more bluish before. But now that I've desaturated it, you notice that it is now, kind of normal evening vibe, not the bluish kind. Okay. So let me sharpen this image by 4. I'm going to make, things sharp in the image, that parameter. So, okay. Let me extend this side because you can see the edge of it in this image. So I'm going to extend it a little bit to conceal that from the camera view. Okay. So I'm going to bring in a building. I'm going to use it to fill the left side. This is in an urban area. I don't want to fill everywhere with trees and greeneries. That's going to give it the, the forest vibe or the wood vibe. This is in an urban area, so I want to have building side by side to this, main compound. But the way I'm going to place this building, make sure that when you are bringing in building to place in a scene, it is going to be, it is not going to be, let's group this. Yeah, so it is not going to be the main focus. You keep it in such a way that it is out of focus, but it is serving a purpose in the scene. It is filling that empty space and it is giving, this vibe of a city, like of an urban area. I don't know if you get, okay? I'm sure you do. So working on the contrast a little bit. All right. Now let's try and relink this bitmap. Okay. It has relinked now, but I don't know all these maps here. Let's see if we can relink them. I don't even know where they are from. Yeah, that's a lot too. Let's see. That didn't work. Let's check the asset tracking. Shift T on your keyboard. Select all this. Let me see if it is from this house that I just imported now. Okay. Let's go to the folder of the house. Think this is it. Yeah. That's not it. So since that is not it, let me do interactive render and see what we have. Doesn't look that bad, so I'm just going to leave it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in these 3 dies at the back to the front and see what happens. That's too big. Let me scale it down. You know what? Let me just use a more colorful tree for that area, a tree that has fruit or something. Let's use this. Okay, import selected. I'm going to drop it there. And I'm going to start my interactive render so I can move it around and get a better position for the tree. Now, when you're trying to select, if it's refusing to select, you can stop your interactive render and keep clicking on that same spot, okay, till you select the tree. Now you select the move to, start your interactive rendering back, and move it around till you get to the position that you desire. Okay. Now I want to apply material on our green area. Okay, I want to apply the nature material on the green area. Now it is in, but you can see it is not mapped properly. Let's go ahead and map it with the UVW map. And I'm going to put 0.005 over here. Put another 0.005. Okay, that's already looking good. All right. Want to extend this on this other side. Okay, let's go back to the UVW map. What went wrong? Let's do it again. 0.005, 0.005, and then 0.005. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Good. So let's bring in the other building for the other side. Okay, going to rotate this, align it to the road. You get. It's still not aligned to the road, but let me first of all position it properly where it is supposed to be. Turn that in off. That's the angle snap. Turn it off so that you can rotate the building, into its right position where you want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to hold on first. Let me relink the maps for the building. Okay. Now let me see what it looks like. Now it's looking like an urban already. Let me take this tree instead of the one behind. Remember what I told you about stopping your interactive render? So I'm going to select that tree over there, and I'm going to move it to this other end. Copy. All right. Going to start my interactive rendering. See what we've got. Not bad. Make a copy of that tree. And then move it. Well, I don't like the way that is looking up, but let's see. Let me scale it up and see what happens. My God. Oh my God. Whoa. Whoa, please. No. We gotta get a tree, I beg. Let me delete that to begin with. Drag it in, merge. Okay, it is in now. Just gonna position this tree where I want it to be. But first of all, I have to delete this material that came with it. I'll just leave it there. Okay, I'm going to scale it up a little bit, in a way that is going to frame this image nicely. Okay, now I'm going to relink the bitmap of the tree. Okay, so it's in. Let's see how it's looking now. Yeah, this is way better than what we just, dealt with now. So I'm just gonna try and rotate it to see if I'm going to get something better than what we're already having now. Okay. Just have to rotate. You just have to see the options of what is obtainable. Then if it is not better than what you had before, then you can choose to leave it where it is. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it like this. You can see that with this tree now, I am framing this image in such a way that you are going to focus on the building that we're working on. That's the warehouse that we're working on. All these other buildings by the side, you see the way I use trees to cover them a bit, make them not to be the focus object. Okay, the object of this scene. You get, so that is a trick that you can use. Now I'm going to duplicate it on this other side too and add another tree over there. Okay. So I can create that perfect framing that guides the viewer's eyes to this to the warehouse. That's the focus object. All right. So I'm just going to move this tree till I get the appropriate position, in my opinion. Okay. Get the position that, in my opinion, is the best. Okay. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm setting it up. Scale it up a little bit. I'm scaling it proportionately in X, Y, and Z axis. Okay. I want to turn on the sun. Sorry, I'm using two screens, so for a while there I forgot that what I'm doing is no longer showing. So, but you get the idea. I just turned on the sun. Now I want to work on the sun. I want to reposition it now with the shadows of the trees that I just added, so that they will contribute to this scene. Okay. Now, this is why I changed the sun, the light up from the sun to direct. Assuming if it is in realistic, by now it would have been orangish or yellowish or that kind of color, which can be helpful in some situation. Okay, there's a video I did on this channel, I've done on this channel where I use the sun to create nice scene. Okay, but in this situation, I don't want to create nice scene. I just want to create a nice, day scene with some shadows the way I want it. And I want to be able to create that shadow with my sun. Now I'm doing a little bit of tone mapping, okay, to get the best out of this image in the post. Okay, by the time you finish, this is like Photoshop. It gives you ability to do wide range of stuff. Okay, do wide range of things that are very impressive. Okay, some might even argue that they don't have to go to Photoshop after doing this. Okay, it's okay not to even go to Photoshop. It still look nice. It will still look nice. Just that Photoshop gives you the ability to do, some things with more control. All right. Other than that, when you finish your post in 3ds Max, in Corona for 3ds Max, it's almost okay for you to go and show your client or your benefactor, whoever it is that's paying for the job that you're doing. Now I rotated the HDRI a little bit, and then I want to copy that tree to the back, towards the back, to hide that building a bit more. Not to hide it, but to make it, less relevant, a bit more. Okay. The reason why I added that is for me to see it. If I'm not seeing it, then it might have to go. So I have to show it as much as possible. I want to create another one on that side, sorry. Okay. Now there's a building there, but you don't even know the building there. So the relevance, the hierarchy, the visual hierarchy of the image of the building is now being reduced. Okay. All right. So it's time for me to apply materials here. So I'm just gonna select the similar. Okay, and I'm going to just go over here and apply glass material to it. The default Corona glass material, like I said, this material in this Corona material library will give you a wide range of very helpful materials, especially when you're a beginner. It is going to give you something to start with or something to study materials with. Okay, so never you look down on it, you can always use it. Okay, this is me reducing the exposure of the HDRI a little bit. Okay, so let's continue working on the material. Well, first of all, let's save. Now it's done saving. Let me hide that for a while. I want to add a hedge right in front of this building. Okay, but first I want to see where my camera view is, because like I said, there's no need drawing this thing or adding hedges where your camera is not going to show. So I made my camera cone to show, permanently, even when I'm not selecting it, and then I drew a line to ensure that it passes in front of my camera cone. So after that, that's that. Okay, I don't want to put it all over the road and make my file heavy for no reason. So that is why I did that. So I used the filter, selected shape, so that whatever I click on, it must be shaped. If it's not shaped, nothing is going to select. So I selected the shape. Okay. And then I'm going to say, okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go over to the modifier now. And they did this to get it to show. So I'm going to go to distribution, set it to image, and then come down here and reduce this unit to 4.5. Okay, let's see how it's looking. Not bad. Not bad. I like the way it's looking already. I don't even need to do anything again. So I'm just going to bring back the trees that I hit. Yeah. Okay. Not bad at all. So I'm going to draw another line over there. Once I pass the camera cone, I stop. Okay, so I can't select it because the filter is in shape, so I change the filter to all. Now I'll go to the area and then click on the spline, add spline icon, and then add that one over there. Let's see. I don't like the way it is looking. So I'll select this and I'll move it back and see whether we're going to get something better. Okay. No. I will go and remove that. Okay. I will have to select a longer hedge to be able to do something better. So I'm going to select this one and I'll click that line, and I'll say okay. Say okay again. All right, so I'll head over to the distribution in the modify tab. The same thing we did before, set it to image and then reduce this to 4.5. Let's see what we are going to have. Okay, now we have a longer hedges, which is cool, which is what I want. Make it 4,000. The gap is still there. Okay. Yeah, we've covered the gap now. Good. Now let's go ahead and draw the other spline for this place. That's the line for that side. Okay. I think it's okay to that place. I'm going to go over and make some adjustment to the line. Select the move tool. Okay. Select this one. Move it a little bit. Select that one. Move it a little bit. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to select this. Okay, and I'm going to come to modify, go to area and add the new spline that I just drew now. Yeah, good. Now we have it. We have our hedges. Okay, I'm going to stop this. Save. Each time you go past a milestone in your rendering, you have to save. Okay, so that you don't, when in situation or in cases where your file crashes, you don't lose a lot of information, a lot of work that you have done. So let's create the material for the fence. Okay, start interactive rendering. Okay, so I'll see what I'm working on. Raise the glossiness a bit. Raise the IOR because it's a metallic material that I'm creating. That's the Fresnel IOR. And now I'll work on the desaturation. I want to get this reddish brown kind of vibe. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do. No, that is one now. Because the stuff was coming with some kind of reflection that I do not appreciate at all. Okay, I want the shine to be straight a little bit. .7 is cool. It's not that type of glossy metal anyway. Okay, so let me work on the color a little bit more. Just a little bit more to be able to get the color that is, closest to what I have in mind. No, okay. Let me make sure I'm selecting that gate because the gate is what I wanted to select. Now select the other fence. Good. Now that's good. So some part of this building is going to still have that material. So I'm going to select those parts. Okay. These are the parts that are not glass. Just going to select them using the polygon sub-object. So I'm going to just apply this to those places. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. All right, so I want to apply material to this logo in front of the building. Start by duplicating the material and applying it. Now I'm going to adjust the color. What I want to apply is the blue material. I want to make a blue material over there. So I'll move the sliders around till I get the appropriate blue, that's the appropriate color of blue that I want. Okay. All right. Okay. Just keep moving the slider till I get what I'm looking for. But that is not it. Okay. So that's just how it works. You just have to pull the sliders. If you have the RGB, you input the RGB, to make sure you get the color that you're looking for. Okay, that's the blue I'm looking for. So I'm just going to select these two. That's the text underneath, and I'm going to apply the appropriate material color to it. So this one is supposed to be dark gray or black. Okay, so yeah, adjust the reflection a little bit. All right, so it's time for me to create the material for the beige color. So what I want to do is, because the material is mostly what is applied to the building, I'm going to edit the base material to be beige, and then the other part, like this walkway that is being affected too, and the curbs that has been affected too, I'm going to change them to the appropriate material. Okay, it's just going to be easier for me to do it this way. So that's what I'm just editing the base material and I'm making it the beige material. Okay, so let's try again. I was a bit distracted what I was doing. So let me okay. I happen to know the RGB code for the beige. If you do not know, I've worked with beige a lot of time. If you do not know this, you can browse it online. Okay, and then you get it. Now this is too saturated for what I want. I want it to be light, way lighter. Okay, that's what the client wants, the beige color on his building to be lighter. So I'm going to get the lighter version of the beige by just adjusting the saturation and the value of the color. All right, that is going to give you a lighter or a darker version or a more colorful version of the color that you just imputed in the RGB. Okay, so it's time for me to just select this walkway and apply a default Corona walkway material. That's the paving under the stone, and you see a lot of paving that you can use here. All right, let's use the cobblestone herringbone. Of course, we're going to use UV map on it. to map it properly, right? So put it in box, uncheck the real world map size, and then put 0.005 in the length, the width, and the height. Okay, that usually works very well. Usually it works very well. Okay, now the curves. I'm going to do something to the curves. But first of all, let's work on the gate. I'm going to apply the same material to the gate. Okay. Yeah. So let's go to metals. Then bring in this black aluminum metal. Okay. I want to check something. It didn't work. I'm just trying to. Okay. I want to copy this. And I'm going to paste it inside the aluminum. And that's the what is it called again? The reflection. Okay. Let's see how that is going to look. That did not look good at all. So let's adjust the color to get what we are looking for. Okay, because I want that place to be highly metallic, an aluminum metallic material. All right. So this is to show you that when you want to change the color of metals, you change it from the reflection. All right, not the diffuse. You see, when I added blue in that diffuse color, it didn't do anything. You didn't even notice. But when I now added it in the reflection, you see, it is now giving us the vibe that we're looking for. Okay, so that's, by the way, I'm now working on the tone mapping. I want to see, you know, the white balancing, the one that's going to work best for me. All right, so it's time for me to bring in cars into this scene. All right. So I'm just going to drag one in. You can see that one has entered. Going to rotate it into the appropriate direction. Okay, use it to cover that building a little bit more. You know, the building that we're using to feel the environment, to give the scene that vibe. I'm going to bring in another vehicle too. Going to move this one to this side and I'm going to rotate it. It is always good. I'm in Nigeria. Okay, it is a left wheel. Our steering is at the left hand side. Okay, and we drive on the right hand side of the road. So it is always helpful for you to know the appropriate direction of the traffic and do it the right way. Okay, so I want to group this vehicle. Okay, some things are still not part of the vehicle. So when I finish, I'll get, okay, that's all. So I'm going to group it. All right, good. So I will select it and I will raise it up to be on the road. Very good. So I'll bring everything back. Then I'll relink bitmap to make sure that all the maps that are supposed to be attached to that vehicle are very much attached to the vehicles that I just imported. All right. Now let's start interactive rendering. See what we have. Yes. Not bad at all. Okay. So, okay. All right. Well, I think I should just, let me leave that wall. Let me not apply the reddish brown material on it. Let's see this thing, you know, very big and see. Okay. Yeah. So let me reposition that car very well. Okay, so that it doesn't cover much of our building. All right. Okay. Okay, as you go on working in 3ds Max, it is always helpful for you to, do the post, adjust things. When you bring in a vehicle, when you bring in a model, whatever it is, you can always adjust your camera, or you can adjust your lighting. You can keep adjusting things. This is an art, not a science. So when you do something and it doesn't look good to you, okay, it doesn't look good to you, chances are it will not still look good to the client. So you keep adjusting it till you get something, really nice, that is going to make sense at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm just going to apply a concrete material to the curb. Okay, I'll assign that to that one. Okay, both of them are the same. So I'm just going to apply my UVW map on it now. And then I'm going to put it in box, going to 0.005. All three of them, 0.005, and then 0.005. Okay, we've taken care of that. Good. So I'll turn on my contrast, and I'm going to make this big. That's good. That's good. So make this 2. Make this 1. That's, I think. Let me see. So let me reduce the HDRI. Oh no, that's too much. Make it 1. Make it 1.5. Okay. Okay. All right. Going to move these 3 in front of the sun. Okay. Then move it up a little bit because I want to cast some shadows on that building. As you can see, it is beginning to happen. Okay. I'll make a copy to the back. I want to have some trees showing at the background like that. Okay. Then I'll duplicate it. We're going to have to. And as much as it is an urban area, it also has, enough greenery, okay, to help purify the air, keep the environment interesting, so that everywhere will not be hard landscape. Okay, make it big. Now you can see with the shadow composition and the color composition, we are having a very interesting, view right here in front of us. Okay. Okay. So I'm just trying to cross-check all the things I have in the post. That's the tone mapping, to ensure that everything is, in order. Yeah. That's cool. No, that's too much. Well, let's see. Okay. Okay, to make the scene, raise the white balance a little bit to make it warmer in a way. Okay. Yeah. So want to go ahead and add the grass in the foreground of this image. So I'm going to select the camera and I'm going to select the ground in front, and I'm going to use line to draw the line where the grass is going to be right in front of the camera. Okay, like I always say, it is always important, it is always very helpful that you do this where the camera is, so you don't end up putting greeneries in a place where it is not needed. I don't know if you understand. So you see the way I'm doing this, I'm actually tracing the cone of the camera out. So I'm going to add lawns now. I'm going to use this one. Okay, yeah, import selected. Make sure that you're on generate and then set your filter to shape, so you select only shapes. And line is a type of shape, so select it and wait for it to load. And it has loaded. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring everything back. I'm going to save. Okay, now I will do my production render. I set my aspect ratio to 3000 by 1688. Okay, so you can set your own like that, or you can set it to whatever you want. All right, yeah, you can see the render is coming out, looking good, looking sharp. Yeah, so the render is done. It's time for us to save. Set it as 2 and then PNG, override 2.2, then hit save. Okay, hit OK. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like, and if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. Not only subscribing, ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future tutorials. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.